You know what they say, out with the old, in with the new. My calendar says it is midway through January, so I'm going to do something that has never been done before. Make a New Year's resolution to move around more. Virtually.
Huh. What's the first thing you think of when you hear the word shooter? Guns, right. But the second thing that may come to mind will be mobility or even strategy. These two elements come together when crafting any shooter, and when the right balance is found, that's where a shooter truly shines. The constant tug between mobility and strategy is where so much fun and enjoyment comes from, and can thus create so many wildly unique experiences from game to game. Yet, despite this, it feels that shooters tend to be characterized as this. Duck and cover gameplay is the thorn in the side of the shooter genre, often dictated by two variables: the consistency of your aim and map awareness. Can you line up your shot accurately and quickly? Then you're all set. You can try jumping, strafing, or crouching to help displace your hurt box, but the overall impact they provide is partly game-changing. So, the formula devolves into what is essentially a basic loop of shoot, hide, and repeat, with the occasional location change every now and then. And to me, this is just boring. This is reason number one of why I can't get into games like Call of Duty. Due to the nature of the series being slow and grounded, it tends to encourage one overly dominant strategy, that being good old-fashioned camping, a playstyle that is often regarded as lame because of the little counterplay against it. Sure, you could try pre-firing corners, tossing a grenade, or displacing your hurt box like mentioned before, but these hardly act as concrete counterplay, as you never really know if someone's camping or not, unless you have been, well, killed by them already. And even then, that player could simply reposition and the process repeats yet again. In this case, I don't feel that the right balance between strategy and mobility is struck here, and much to the detriment of its gameplay loop. However, I'm not the majority. This has been, and still is, incredibly popular with tons of people. Some just like that grounded feeling, and you know what? That's fine. But this success has undeniably caused the shooter genre to stagnate to the point where many shooters just blend together into one big, stupidly popular mess. But something changed. What if games gave the player more movement options? Rainbow Six Siege is a game built around slow-paced strategy, hence making it a very grounded game, arguably even more so than Call of Duty. So I should hate it, right? Actually, this one is pretty fun.
I love contradicting myself.
Rainbow Six Siege places strategy at the forefront through setting traps, creating openings, and using intel, which all work to make up for its limited mobility. But the game knows that, and it uses its tactical nature to directly complement this slower speed, making it so that there's always multiple effective strategies present. Once you enter this room, you can approach it from here, 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 and here. Once you get past this wall, just break it down. Can't get to this window? Rappel up or use a grappling hook.
That's how you know a game is good.
Nevertheless, just like Call of Duty, when it comes to one-on-one engagements, movement is barely a deciding factor in who wins or loses, more or less coming down to the simple question of can you aim well?
Nope.
So let's go a bit further. Past the Call of Duties, CSGOs, Fallouts, and Far Cries, let's talk about Halo, our favorite Bungie developed series. Ever since combat evolved, Halo has been a great example of how to balance strategy and mobility in gameplay. If you prefer to be aggressive, you can run around fast with an energy sword, or grab a ghost to ram into other players, or get hijacked. This happens a lot. But if you don't like that playstyle, you can hang around at a vantage point of your choice, sniping unsuspecting players. Halo also features a higher time to kill, which asks the player to strategize each engagement so they can take down their opponent quickly and effectively. And as the games progressed, for better or for worse, there was always one thing that kept improving: the mobility. Now you can slide around to close distances faster, clamber on ledges to reach previously inaccessible areas, or you can use a grappling hook to go anywhere you want.
That's how you know a game is good. I think.
Camping wasn't necessarily strong in the older titles, but it became progressively weaker as more movement options were introduced, speeding up the overall pace that much more. Is Halo a movement shooter? I would say so. But this isn't quite enough of a jump. What if we went further beyond? Oh my god, please don't kill me. Oh my god, I'm dead!
Round lost.
This is Doom Eternal, a game where quick, purposeful movement is paramount to deciding the outcome of a single engagement. You have jumps, air dashes, monkey bars, jump pads, teleporters, and a grapple hook
That's how you know a game is good.
that all come together to create an extremely aggressive shooter, along with an extra layer of mechanical skill needed to fully master the game. In the campaign, you are tasked to rip and tear hordes upon hordes of enemies, playing an engaging balancing act of avoiding attacks, picking the right weapon for the job, and choosing which demons to prioritize first. Need to heal up? Take out some of the weaker enemies first. Dying too quickly? Might want to eliminate some of the bigger demons first. But be careful not to disregard those smaller enemies because they provide you resources. With all of these options at your disposal, you have yourself what can truly be called a movement shooter, a subgenre that I will proudly tout as one of my all-time favorites, since I love complex movement. Movement shooters ask the player to learn its movement system in order to win engagements and stay alive. Aiming isn't as important. Actually, never mind, aiming is still important. And there's no safe spot. Staying still means you are dead. Going back to Doom, this is a series that has consistently been a pioneer of movement shooters ever since its inception, where it, along with the very first Wolfenstein and Quake, pushed yet another subgenre, aptly named the boomer shooter. This is basically an old movement shooter, a precursor if you will, from the fast-paced firefights that require the player to dodge and weave to avoid taking damage, to the lack of reloads so you can always be going in guns a-blazing. A lot of things that make up modern movement shooters can be seen here, so let's build upon this formula further. I need this tattooed on my arm. Ultrakill is everything you knew about boomer shooters, but flipped on its head, building upon it more and more to the point where its very design can be called one of a kind. It's faster than anything else, more vertical than anything else. It has ground pounding, it has sliding, it has a mother-f***ing grappling hook.
That's how you know a game is good.
You can pull enemies closer, or you can pull yourself closer to shower yourself in their blood as you disintegrate anything and everything. Mankind is dead, blood is fuel, hell is fool. Okay, calm down a bit, buddy. Never mind, I can't calm down. You have a style meter straight out of Devil May Cry. You see this gun, right? You can flip a coin. Okay, nothing happened. But what if you shoot that coin before it disappears? Oh my god, that bullet will ricochet towards the nearest target, even chaining multiple weapons or multiple coins for mass destruction. Hell, you can punch your own shotgun shots.
You can punch your own shotgun shots!
Ultrakill masterfully creates new concepts, plays with those concepts, and still makes them interesting but in completely different ways. It always keeps the player on his toes down to the very design of its enemy encounters, almost always leading the player to ambush situations where you have to quickly adapt and choose how best to approach the firefight. And spoilers, unless you ground pound into saws, there really is no wrong way. Okay, you can stop laughing now. It's not funny. Now, let's tone it down a bit.
Let's talk about Apex Legends.
Apex Legends is a fantastic take on the Battle Royale genre, and while I admittedly am not the biggest fan of these types of games, it's hard to not enjoy how it combines intricate movement with a Battle Royale style to create a significantly faster paced gameplay experience for each match. It has all the modern movement shooter mainstays we've all grown accustomed to, but most of the unique aspects of this game come from which heroes, or rather which legends you choose. Apex Legends mixes being a hero shooter with a battle royale, so each character has their own special set of abilities that they can utilize over the course of each game. Most are pretty straightforward. Caustic throws toxic traps, Bloodhound gathers enemy intel, and Lifeline heals teammates, but these are boring. Who cares about supporting the team? I want to move! Wraith is super cool because she can set up portals that you can travel between. Octane can boost its speed and even wall run. Revenant can fly, and Pathfinder can use a grappling hook.
That's how you know a game is good. Okay, I can't hold it in anymore. I need to talk about Titanfall.
This is Titanfall 2. One of, if not my favorite game of all time. Titanfall is movement shooter perfected. Your performance in the game hinges on the mastery of both aiming and mechanical skill. You always have to be moving, whether it be jumping, double jumping, strafe jumping, running, wall kicking, sliding, slide hopping, rodeoing, hovering, and this doesn't even include the different classes. You have a cloak to make yourself hard to see, and an ant wall to power up your shots, and a knife that detects enemies, which are all fine, but they can't hold a candle to stim and grapple, which, surprise, both pertain to movement. Stim boosts your speed to make you very fast, and grapple is, well, a grappling hook.
And that's how you know a game is good!
This grappling hook is the single greatest grappling hook in existence, and I'm not hyperbolizing. It can be used to slingshot yourself across entire maps, close distances like it's nothing, and just look really cool doing so. Not to mention, there's a huge selection of weapons, attachments, abilities, and ordinances for any playstyle. In Titanfall, there is no downtime during a match. Contrast this to Apex, where while it can get quite frantic, a lot of each match will involve rummaging around the map for different equipment and preparing. Titanfall is constantly peaking, making you want to go for another match, then another match, then another match, and soon you realize you left the pizza in the oven for too long and your house is burned down.
This isn't just limited to the multiplayer, however. The single player is just as polished and consistently exciting from start to finish, never letting go of the gas pedal as it throws you new idea after new idea over the course of a little less than 6-hour campaign. But while this length may be troublesome to many, the shorter length lets Titanfall refine every new idea to its fullest, focusing on both quality and quantity, all while ensuring that nothing ever overstays its welcome. In one level, you are traversing a factory while the environment you are fighting on is being built around you. In a different level, you are given the ability to time travel and will have to switch between 2 different time periods, each with their own set of hazards. And in another one, you straight up wall run between ships and get launched around in a high-speed aerial chase. Titanfall 2's campaign is a blast, and with the added cherry on top, has awesome set pieces that could rival other iconic shooters. With all that said and done,
it's a shame that Titanfall was never a commercial success due to its poor release time and a lack of effective marketing. And now, with DDoS attacks left and right and a considerable lack of developer support, the community has taken it upon themselves to support the game they enjoy playing through the North Star client, a fan-made custom server host that even lets you design your own game modes through mods. Sure, you could play the regular game modes like attrition, or you could play randomizers where the pilot is given Titan weapons. Oh right, there's Titans. Almost like that's part of the name.
So, you pilot these mechs called Titans, right? And when you call for them, they fall from the sky. The sky! And you can play as a speedy sword fighter called Ronin, or you could play as a mass arsonist called Scorch.
So in a genre that I feel is not the most interesting overall, movement shooters have consistently become some of my favorite games of all time. And I am always open to seeing more games like these flourish in the industry because movement is just plain fun. There's no other way around it. Having more skill factors in matches and more compelling moment-to-moment gameplay keeps these games from ever becoming stale. So, go play Titanfall.
Trust me.
Oh, but there's also this other Titan called Legion, and has a giant chain gun and a massive